Destroying transphobia. It's been a while, but welcome guys back to another episode of Destroying Anti-Trans Rhetoric. And today's rhetoric is letting your child transition child abuse. Now, a lot of people who are not trans or don't have no idea what it means to be trans push this idea, saying, oh, they can't know. They're definitely not making a choice. The parents are forcing them. The blanket claim that transition-related care for minors is child abuse is not supported by positions of major U.S. medical organizations. People that usually say that are often misdescribing what care for minors actually involve. For prepubescent children, right? We're not giving them surgeries and estrogen straight away because it wouldn't even do them any good at that age. The care they receive at that age is going by different name and pronouns and being able to grow out their hair or cut their hair or wear different clothing. That's it. Who's someone who came out when they were 11 years old and were basically denied until they were 18. I can say the first time I got actually called by my name and pronouns by people who weren't even part of my family, my mental health improved. Just that first step in the right direction can improve your child's mental health if they happen to be trans. And the Endocrine Society explicitly says that puberty blockers and hormone treatments are not recommended for prepubescent children. Because duh. Puberty blockers are usually prescribed at age 12 or 11 because, that's when your body starts hitting puberty. It also states that treatment for prepubescent children should never include medical or surgical interventions. Not for adolescents. Care for them can involve a staged process where they go through a psychological assessment. During this time, it's appropriate they go on puberty block, which, before you start commenting, I can already see your fingers clicking. What puberty blockers do is they halt puberty. They prevent unwanted hormone changes from happening. Say they're a trans woman and they want more time to think about that. If they halt their hormones, their voice won't lower, and they won't get all these masculine qualities that they didn't want. That would be really hard to undo in the future. During this time, puberty blockers is active. They can go through therapy, they can go through assessment, and then make their choices. And then go on hormones after that. And if they find out that transition wasn't for them, they can just stop taking puberty blockers and everything will go back to normal. People often say this is rushing children to make a decision. I see it as the opposite. I think it's giving them time to make the decision. Because puberty, once it starts, it's really hard to undo its changes. So with puberty blockers, I say it gives them more time and not rushes them. I wish I got to go on puberty blockers. It would have saved me a lot of trouble. So here's what the research say about these outcomes. Several studies have found mental health benefits associated with access and gender-affirming care. A 2022 prospective cohort study in the JMAA network open found that access to puberty blockers or hormones was associated with lower odds of depression and suicidality over 12 months. A 2023 study in the New England Journal of Medicine found that improved appearance, congruence, and psychological functioning over 2 years after affirming gender hormone treatment in transgender and non-binary youth. A 2020 study in pediatrics found that access to pubertal suppression during adolescence was associated with lower odds of lifetime suicidal ideation among transgender young adults. Are you really seeing the pattern here that maybe transitioning is right for these people? No, don't get me wrong. The study isn't perfect and not every question is settled. And there are rogue parents that might go out of the guidelines and give them bottom surgery at the age of 10, which is dumb. This has happened, and I do see that is child abuse. Because in that regard, it's definitely rushing the process and not going with the guidelines. But here's where the word abuse is misleading. Child abuse means harming a child, but in this context, the care is being discussed and delivered through clinicians, guidelines, assessment, and consent process, with the stated goal of just reducing distress and improving functioning. Even critics of the evidence base are usually arguing over standards of evidence or clinical thresholds, not claiming that all supporting care for gender diverse youth is equivalent to beating or neglecting a child. As someone who was a trans child at once and a trans adult now, I can say with certainty that gender affirming care improved my mental health tenfold, and I wish I had it a lot earlier than I got to get it. So for you who may still be critics, have an open mind. I'm going to put some sources. The American Academy of Pediatrics 2018 policy reaffirmed in 2023. This is a support for comprehensive care for transgenders and gender diverse youth. Another is the Endocrine Society guidelines. This states that there's no medical surgery treatment for prepubescent children, and it's a stage approach for adolescents. Here's the American Psychological Association policy. This is support for evidence-based inclusive care. Here's for the American Medical Association statements. This opposes political interference and describes care as evidence-based and medically necessary. And then nowhere in this video am I saying that science is 100% settled. Yeah, we're still advancing. We're still making advancements to this day. And yes, there are risks. And I'm not going to say that everyone who disagrees with it is evil. But I need you to understand that, these are very important to people. And you can disagree with it, but to be in line to take it away from people that really need it, don't do that. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have, leave a like, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace!